Hi, Steve. Oh, how's everything going? I was wondering if anybody would show up tonight. Since we don't have a guest tonight, I thought, well, you know what? I'm not going to broadcast it. I'm not going to put it on Facebook. I'll just see who shows up. Hi, David. Okay. Well, I'm going to bounce an idea off you guys while we're kind of on here and talking. Um, I was talking to some people about this chat that I have every Wednesday night, and they asked me a question which was kind of interesting. And they said, "Do you set a theme at all for like each meeting to go out and shoot some stuff and uh, come back with?" I said, "No, not really, because everybody has their own uh, genre of photography that they like taking photographs, and I don't want to turn it into like a classroom kind of thing where you've got a theme that you have to show up with. But yeah, maybe it's not a bad idea to try that sometime and say, I did that with a class today at Mohawk. I gave them a theme, I gave them some examples of what that should look like, and you know, it was pretty cool. The theme at the Mohawk class was shadows, so photographing shadows and somehow interpreting the the object that's creating the shadow doesn't have to be in it, but somehow interpreting how the shadow was created or what does it mean. I did this with another class, a high school down in Simcoe, the Simcoe Composite School, and they actually came up with some pretty good ideas. And these are the samples that I showed. Let me get this. See if I can do this. You see, now I'm doing a presentation. I'm going to see if I can do it. Hang on here. Since nobody else is here but YouTube. I know this is still going out to YouTube. I don't know who's on YouTube. I don't have YouTube open right now, so. But if you're on YouTube, pardon me? Oh, wow. That's pretty good considering I didn't broadcast this tonight. Okay, so let's see. I'll try guess one. Go here. Yeah, about here. Okay, so there it is. Wondering. I can go full screen and see what happens. Okay, so here's one of the shots. Let me take it to the top. That is the top. Okay. Yeah, view full screen. Okay, so you guys can see that full screen. Yeah, am I still here? Okay, good. So the Simcoe kids did this, and I thought some of this was pretty good. Yeah, a little Photoshop work went into this one. I told him, keep it simple. It doesn't have to be complicated. And that's that. They did a pretty good job. But, you know, it's a good idea, but the thing I don't like about it is I don't want to be giving people assignments. It's not like you don't have enough to do in your life right now. That you need to be given assignments. I'd rather just have you guys show up and show some of your work, anything new that you photographed and how you did it, and things you ran into. And I can drag some stuff from my past experiences in photography that I can certainly show, and that would be fun for some people to look at some of the commercial work that I've done in the past. So yeah, and of course, the other thing is that I'll probably, as the spring weather gets here, I'll probably be outside doing some work with my drone. So there should be some interesting photographs uh, that I take or videos that I shoot with the drone. Drones have a bad name these days. Wow, no kidding, eh? Yeah, 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 the drone that I have, it uses my iPhone as the viewer. And so, when I'm looking at my iPhone, that's what my drone is looking at. Uh, I think I can switch that over to a map, but I have no use for a map. I want to see what my drone's looking at so I have some idea of um, what I'm going to eventually shoot or how I'm going to set it up. I might do a couple of dry runs if I'm shooting video to make sure that I get the motion right and the way that I want it. I find that, and I learned all of this from YouTube. So, I've got the expertise of various drone operators. And of course, some of them are very simple, some of them are a little bit more complex um, as to how you want to shoot with a drone. But generally speaking, I like to keep my drone actions fairly simple. I don't really have to do movie style shots with the drone following vehicles right beside them or in front of them. That would be especially dangerous. But yeah, it's an interesting hobby, and there's a lot to learn. One of the things that I did learn is that um, I do some of my drone shots out at my daughter's place, and they have something like 15 acres there or so. And the thing is that um, if I step outside of a certain area, I can fly the drone. If I move, 100 feet in the other direction, I can't fly the drone because it's right in the flight path for the Hamilton airport. And it comes up that it's restricted, and I can get an override on that restriction if I get in touch with uh, a government authority, and they'll give me a certain time that I can fly in that area. Well, I don't really need that because all I have to do is move away about 100 feet, and then I'm out of that flight path, and all of a sudden I can fly the drone, no problem. Now, the Brantford airport, because the apartment I live in is right in the flight path for the Brantford airport, it will also restrict me, but it's a lot easier because all I have to do is I go to a website and I've got somebody else coming in here. All I have to do is go to a website and just state the purpose that I'm flying the drone. And I usually put in building inspection, or you can put in hobby for all they care. And they give you a little code that you can type into the drone software, and all of a sudden you can fly the drone. But there is a ceiling limit, and I forget what the ceiling limit is, how many hundreds of feet that you can go up in the air, and beyond that, they don't want you going that high because then you are in the flight path of any aircraft. So, but that's an easy one to overcome, I found. Um, I think because it's not a commercial airport. So, yes, it's a DJI. Oh, is it a mini? I can't remember, but yeah, I think it's a mini. Yeah, yeah, yes, yeah, 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 yeah. Well, exactly. It's a lot of trouble to go through. I'd just rather go somewhere else and fly the drone. No big deal for me. But um, you know, I don't know if do you have a cage around your drone? Yeah, yeah. So do I. I've got a cage too because if it bumps into something, it doesn't wreck the propellers or anything like that. I did get it caught in a tree uh, once, and fortunately, uh, my son-in-law was there with his pickup truck, so he pulled the pickup truck out, and he had, one of those long poles for gathering leaves in the pool, and we extended that, and we managed to pull the drone out of the leaves, and there was no damage at all. So, and that's probably because of the cage again. But when I got this drone, there were extra propellers with it, just in case, somehow they got hurt. Hi, Andrew. Ah, good. Nice to have you here. So if anybody is on, let me just add everybody here.
Somebody was saying hello on YouTube from Las Vegas.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
I didn't see that one. Let me see if I can bring up the window four.
I'll be in Vegas on
Comments.
Monday.
Comments. Here we go.
Nice.
Okay, hello from Las Vegas. Larry, how are you? It's nice to see you here. Um, do you have any interest in photography? Tonight's a really low-key night with only the dyed in blue members showing up. I didn't even advertise it on Facebook or put it out onto Instagram this time, um, but um, people do show up still, so that's a good thing. We do have programs, by the way. We had some last week. We had somebody who is transitioning from digital image to black and white images, or to film, I should say, and that was a really good show. But in YouTube, if you go to my live feed, you'll see all the past guests that we've had, and you can have a look at them and look at the ones that you think are interesting to you. As a paramedic, I'm not sure we haven't had anything that deals with uh, anything that a paramedic would deal with naturally, but we have had one uh, police officer who is with a forensic team. He actually teaches forensic photography at a police college here in Ontario. So that was interesting. So we do have programs that are coming up. I haven't scheduled anything right now, but I think there will be one coming up probably next week, hopefully. And that one will be, I believe it'll be landscape and wildlife photography by a guy. I'm still chatting with him, seeing if I can pull that together, and hopefully I can. Anyway, yeah, thanks for showing up. I appreciate that. And then there was somebody else too, I think that,
Oh, that was me.
oh, okay,
Yeah.
there you go.
Guitar man, that's me.
Good. Okay, so yeah, so you're on YouTube at the same time as you're on Zoom? Oh,
I
okay. Maybe
am, yeah.
you can tell me if anybody else shows up. As
Okay.
soon as I see a comment, I can post it. And if there's a little YouTube logo on it, it's from YouTube. If there's a um, Zoom logo on it, it's from Zoom. Whoever it's from, it shows. So that's pretty cool. I haven't done too much with this program just lately. I've been playing around with it. There are some things that I can do that are kind of cool. Um, I'll show you. I'll show you one thing that I found kind of cool. But this is, I think, more for my classes that I teach online. Hang on.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is kind of neat, I think. So what I'm doing is just grabbing my iPad here, and see if this works. All right, I'm not going to set it up the way I normally set it up. Normally I would set it up that I would actually see what you're seeing on this. I'd see myself on the screen, and then let me see, I've got to add a camera here. Okay, and that should be there. Now let's see. Oh, it did work. So you can see I'm kind of on there. Oops. I'll do it real fast because it has feedback, so it gives me kind of an infinity. So I've got that, and I can take my Apple Pencil and say, I think I can. Well, there. All right. My Apple Pencil is out of battery, so I can say hi, and I can draw right on my background. And when it comes to equipment, I can actually outline things, circle things on equipment when I'm showing it. So that's kind of cool too. The other thing that I found out about this thing that is really cool is that let's see, LMT, okay, that's good. Now let's see if this works. Hello, everybody. Oh, that didn't work. Hello, everybody. Okay, that's not working. Try something else. Pencil? Nope. Sorry, I'm messing around here a little bit. Here we go. Live titles. I'm not familiar with this interface totally, so yeah. Hello? Good work. Hello? Working. Oh, finger, yeah. Good morning. Oops, that's not. Oh, there we go. Here, here. Hello?
Oh, there it is.
All right. All I have to do is if I draw a line and say something, good morning. Didn't work that time. Good morning. Nope. All right, this way. Good morning. Good. Mm, okay, but you get the idea. I can draw a line and I should be able to say something. And it's
Hmm.
turned on, so it should work. Hello? Hello? There we go. It's finicky. Be able to do more. Good morning, everybody. Going.
Okay.
Yeah. That's kind of cool. I mean, it's really limited. I would probably never use that anywhere, but it's a neat kind of feature. But the neat thing about this, especially with the video pencil, I can write a little bit better so that I'm looking. I can outline my glasses, Mr. Magoo kind of thing. Anyway, that's kind of cool with the iPad. I can do that.
Yeah. And that's the Zoom app on the iPad.
No, on the iPad, this is the cool part about this. On the iPad, what it is, just turn the iPad on again. Okay. It's an app called Video Pencil. And what happens is that the program that I'm using to broadcast here actually will broadcast to this iPad. And then the iPad sends it back to this program so it's broadcast to you guys. So the iPad is really only working internally with my laptop. So whatever's on my laptop, which is this image that you're looking at right here, that is
Hmm.
broadcast to my iPad. And then on my iPad, if I draw something, it'll transmit it as a transparency to my laptop. It doesn't transmit this picture again. It only transfers what I write. because I can tell it, don't send the picture because it already sent the picture here. I don't want to send it back. So, but it will send what I write as a transparency. And you can see that I can actually grab that transparency and move it around. So it's a separate camera that's working there. So
Interesting.
yeah, and I was actually I found this program when I was looking for a whiteboard that I could use, and this came up, and I thought, well, actually, I could use this by not asking for this image to be sent to my iPad, a white image on the iPad. If I ask for a white image on the iPad, it'll give me a white image, and then I can use it as a whiteboard, and then I can resize it if I want to be on it if I want to be up in the corner or anything like that. So that's kind of cool. Let's see here if media, if I can get some media there. So I've got the media there, and now I can write on my whiteboard, and I can actually just move this whiteboard over here. Take this image. I'm going to send this to the back. Now I can take this image here and do this with it. Bring the whiteboard there. Okay. And this one bring to front because I can't resize it if I have it in the back. Okay. I think I can resize this. Oh, I know why. That's fine. And then I can send this to the back. I'll put it behind. And there's my whiteboard. Now I can do anything on this whiteboard that I want. Make drawings of cameras and you know uh, how a lens captures an image and so on. So this is great for any classes or anything like that. But I think the most use that I will get out of this, if I can keep doing this until I get back to there. Just kept hitting the undo button to undo all that stuff that I just did. But where I can use this far better is, like I say, if I'm showing something, or if you guys are showing me a picture, and you say, "Oh, you see the door on the right? Not everybody can see it." Then I can circle that door and then get rid of the circle, right? So that it's good for illustrating or pointing things out to people. And I like it with students because I can show them this area is overexposed, this area is underexposed, this is out of focus, should be in focus. And I can draw lines and say the depth of field should be this deep, not that shallow. So wonderful stuff like that. Yes. So there you go. That is how that works. So we still have two people on YouTube, do we?
Yeah. It keeps changing. People are coming in and out.
Well, yeah, they come in, they say, I'm not interested in this, and then they go out. But
Yeah.
yeah, and a lot of people that visit are not really into photography, but they see, they'll go to YouTube and say, oh, there's something live on, let's have a look, and then they look at it. I don't know how
Mhm.
YouTube advertises this. I know that I put it on my channel saying coming soon or coming at 7 o'clock, but I don't know if somebody goes to YouTube and asks what's live right now, and they can go through all the live channels and see if they like something.
Mhm.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
it says there's 4 people on there now.
yeah. So it'll go like that all night. It'll go 4, 5, 10, and then it'll go back down to 2. Just people dropping in and out. And I keep saying, hey, if you're on YouTube, welcome to George's chat. We're on here for about an hour. Right now, it'll probably only be about a half an hour. But
Yeah.
glad to have you here. And if you would, just let us know who you are and where you're from, and if you're interested in photography. If not, just stick around. We might have some photographs that uh, our regular friends here will show you. Do we have any photographs?
Uh, David, you could go first.
Yeah, I haven't really done anything this week. I'm not quite sure why. Um, one of those weeks where, yeah,
Well,
just
I can tell you why, because the weather's changing. Everybody's
hmm,
really anticipating this beautiful warm weather. It was nice today.
Yeah. Uh, I wanted to take some pictures of that eclipse the other morning,
Yeah.
but I got up, I went out, and it was just clouds. So
Oh,
I went
yeah.
back to bed. So
That's too bad. Was that uh now there
the the
somebody
red
said
moon.
was that the red moon?
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay. That was supposed to be the red moon. Okay. I wasn't
But
sure,
what
but yeah.
it was like what, 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning? You had to get up?
yeah.
Hmm.
It started at 3 and then it peaked around 6:30. That's when it was totality. But it was the moon was so far in the west, and like I said, there was just clouds obscuring it. Like I don't know if it'd be cool to look at, but it wasn't very photogenic, at least from my
Yeah.
view.
No,
So
no. Yeah, that's too bad. And of course, that's the thing with night shots when there's an event happening, even meteor showers. They say, "Oh, it's going to be a meteor shower tonight." Well, if it's overcast, you're out of luck.
yeah.
So,
Um, I can show you a picture of the last lunar eclipse we had.
okay, yeah, do that. Just hang on a
Okay.
second. I'm going to slot you in here, and
Okay. Oops. It'll just be a second. Kind of
oh yeah, take
here
your
I am hitting.
time. It'll take me a second to set this up anyway.
Okay.
Assign
Just gotta
to
close it.
folder number
Accidentally
one.
opened Photoshop.
Okay, I think I've got you. There you go. Yeah, so you're assigned to number one now. So whenever you're ready to show something, I'll go to the next slide and you'll be there, full and live.
Okay. All right. All right. And I just gotta open up our thingy here. Okay. Can you guys see that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, hang on a second. I'm just going to go to the next one so that
Oh wow.
people uh, on YouTube can see it.
It's pretty cool.
Thanks. Where are we? There we are.
Yeah, it looks good.
Thanks. So that's
I, I
uh
don't know if it's just me, but it looks like at the top there's like 2 little eyes, then just underneath the nose and the mouth. I don't know.
yeah.
Maybe it's just me who can see it, but I always find it quite amusing.
Yeah.
One, two, three. Why am I getting this? I don't know. I'm just going to
Okay.
hang on a minute.
Mhm.
Should be great. I'm gonna try something else here. Hang on. Station. Getting all kinds of weird things happening here. Not what I want either.
I think Andrew's gone to sleep there.
Okay, so there it is. Yeah. So you took this
Oh,
over a period of how much time did this take?
yeah. So I took this, this was actually like all night. So the first photo, I started taking it around, I think it was 20 after 11 at night. And I stayed outside all night up until 5:30 in the morning. And that
Wow.
was the last moon shot there. And this was last year. Uh, I'm not sure the exact date. I don't remember if it was last year, March, or if it was in the fall. I don't remember. Somebody looking this video up in the future, they can just Google it and see when it was. But I used a telescope taking these pictures, and I just had my DSLR hooked to the back of the telescope.
Uh-huh.
So my telescope tracked the moon, so I didn't have to keep adjusting the uh, position of the telescope to the moon. It just followed it automatically all night, and I just took shot after shot at uh, whatever interval I chose. I just whatever looked best. I just didn't want to get any how can I say it, like double shots of the moon or whatever. Whenever
Yeah.
it would change, I would take a new picture. So, and that was it. I just did some light photoshopping. That was it. And then I just put everything together in Photoshop uh, into the montage you're seeing there. So that was one version. The other version of this photo I did, it was the same montage, but it was arranged in Fibonacci spiral.
Oh, okay. You have
So
that
that was
shot?
it. Yes, I do.
Yeah, show us.
Okay, I'll pull it up. Right. Share. And here we go. And there
Oh,
it is. It's the other version of it.
Yeah.
So
uh,
just wanted to do something interesting and
uh,
something different. So I just pulled up the Fibonacci template that was in Photoshop, and I just picked all the little individual pictures of the moon and just lined them up with the spiral.
hmm.
And that's that there. And the camera I was using, I believe I used my old Canon 5D Mark II for these because the 5D Mark IV was actually getting repaired. So it was last March.
Yeah.
I remember that now. My $600 repair I had to do.
Yikes.
Yeah. All right. And
Jeez.
that was it. That might have one more picture, a close up of the blood moon. And here we go. And there we are. That's it. So that's last year. I was hoping to get something, get a show like this year with the new camera and everything, but it just didn't work out. So, but
Okay.
So that's that.
Have a look here. See. Fantastic. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Anybody else got anything that they can share?
Well, I, I've been trying to photograph the moon for quite some time, and I got it, but it didn't look too great, so I changed it to blue. Can you see that?
Yep.
Yeah.
That was my. But I've taken I don't know, hundreds of. They never seem to turn out right. Just this was with a 400 lens, and it didn't seem too bad. But
Mhm.
when I see other people's moons, I think, oh God, how do they get them so sharp and looking good? Um, anyway, that was my effort.
I think that I don't know, Steve, you might correct me on this because you're more into astronomy than I am. But I think one of the things that sometimes happens is that the exposure is long enough uh, to have some camera shake, or, I mean, actually, the Earth is moving and the moon
Hmm.
is, so to speak, moving. So if the exposure is long enough, I don't know how long the exposure has to be or how short it has to be to get a still shot of the moon.
Mhm. So for like a full moon like that, it's
Yeah,
usually a short exposure because it's pretty bright.
it is.
S- And then
Yeah,
I read somewhere a long time ago, the sky moves like in 13 seconds.
yeah.
So any exposures um longer than that, that's when you start seeing noticeable trails.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
So
that was just looking, it was F9 and it was 1/320th exposure time.
yeah.
Yeah.
I've tried a number of different ones. But as you say, I think, yeah, the longer the exposure, the worse it got because of the movement, etc.
Well, that's one of the things that people often do wrong is they let their meter do the metering for the moon without zooming in on it, and so they have this huge
Mhm.
black sky, and of course they're going to overexpose the moon.
Hmm.
And it's much the same as
Yeah.
probably Andrew, when you're shooting a concert, if you're way back in the seats and the whole area is black except for the stage, and people use their meter and they think it's going to work, it's not going to work unless you can zoom in on the actual lighting on the stage because that's when
Yeah.
you're going to get it. Yeah, proper exposure. So and if you don't have that zoom, and it looks like there's a nuclear explosion happening on the stage because it's so blown out, then all you can start doing is change your shutter speed. I wouldn't change the aperture because depth of field isn't a consideration. I would change your shutter speed higher and higher and higher, and that is beautiful because now you've got a shutter speed that might actually stop action on the stage. So, I don't
Yeah.
know. Has that been your experience, Andrew? Or
It all depends, right? So, yeah, a lot of the times when I'm shooting at like these bars, I'm shooting a flash. So,
yeah, okay, yeah. Well, that's a smaller venue than a stadium.
but like, yeah, like a stadium is 10 times easier to shoot than
Yeah.
a little
Well,
bar.
you've got more room for one thing, I suppose.
More room, better lighting,
Yeah,
better
absolutely better.
production,
Better, better musicians.
better music.
Yeah.
One thing I'll add, another tip about like lunar photography, um, is to use a neutral density filter. That's one thing. And uh, which phase? I believe it's called a waxing gibbous. That's how can I say it? But I would have to look it up to know the exact name of the phase. But that's when you get the best shadows on the surface of the moon,
Okay.
and it'll pick up craters and stuff like that with much better detail. Whereas a full moon, you got the sun
Right
blowing
on.
right on it.
Yeah.
So you don't get a lot of that shadow detail and stuff. So a lot of the moon photos that you see online that like they have incredible detail and like color definition and all that to them. It's guys are stacking those photos. Like they're taking them in all different uh sorry, with all different exposures, like similar to an HDR image.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And then they stack them together and then just process them into one image, right?
Yeah.
So, and then all about the equipment too, like using telescopes and whatever else. A zoom lens, like what David was using there, they're usually more than fine, especially with today's cameras with the higher resolution on them.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's a good idea. Never really thought of that, but
yeah,
I'll have to try that.
yeah. And then the metering mode usually for the moon is spot metering. So,
Hmm.
but yeah, and then same with all astrophotography. Like if you're taking pictures of nebula and galaxies and stuff like that, all of those images, like all those spectacular images you see online, it's people stacking them. So taking all these photos, like hundreds of photos over hours, and then uh, just using stacking software somewhere online. Uh, I had one, it was called Registax, but it's only for you can only use it for or on a PC computer, whereas I'm using a Mac now full time. So, and usually all that stacking software is free. So just FYI for everybody.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's all I
Yeah.
got with my Astro tips.
Good. Thank you. Appreciate that. Well, the thing is that,
Mhm.
that's a whole science all in its own. I mean, to have a telescope that is driven and geared to the, rotation of the Earth or whatever to follow the moon, and other celestial bodies. I don't know. Does your telescope, is it able to pick up other planets?
Yeah, it can. So it's got a little computer on it. Like once you got to do like a polar alignment and all this stuff, right? You got to input certain data into the control pad, like where you are. Usually, like mine goes just by the time zone where I am and the closest major city. So it's either Toronto or New York or something like that. And it'll start a process where it'll bring you to certain targets and you got to center the target in the telescope. Like usually it's to like the brightest stars in the sky, and it'll put you at one, you hit enter, and then the scope will skew and move and point at something else. You hit enter again, and then it
Yeah,
knows where it is. So you can input whatever, Jupiter or planet Venus,
yeah.
and the telescope will automatically go to it.
So you kind of
So
you're kind of triangulating it to begin with,
yeah,
so it
yep,
knows where it is.
yep, yep,
That's cool.
exactly.
That's cool.
And
So
then the motors on it skew with the sky. Like
yeah,
it'll move with the sky, and you can do long exposures of anything, pretty much
yeah, yeah,
galaxies, planets.
yeah,
So I've yet to get a perfect image or a good image of any of that stuff. So
yeah. Saturn would be interesting, wouldn't it?
yeah,
Yeah.
I think I have a photo of Saturn somewhere. I would just have to try to find it on my computer.
So the Earth is the third planet from the sun, right?
Yep,
Yeah,
third rock from the sun.
yeah. And and I heard somebody, if Earth is the third planet from the sun, aren't all the countries on Earth third world countries? I had to say that, I heard
Yeah,
it the other day. I thought that was pretty funny.
yeah.
Okie dokie. Thank you again. Thanks, Steve.
Yeah,
Appreciate that.
yeah, no problem. Just gonna browse my computer here. Maybe I got a picture I can show you if I have it here. Um,
I keep going back to poor Andrew.
Keep seeing myself.
I think what I have to do is kind of remove everybody from because I've given placeholders for everybody, so I'm just going to
yep.
let's see.
It's funny. I see myself on the screen uh
Yeah,
during the meeting, right? And then all of a sudden when my picture comes up like on the featured screen,
yeah.
I'm looking at myself, but all of a sudden the image flips and I'm trying to compensate for which way I'm looking and
Well, that's the hard part because it's not a mirror image anymore. It
yeah,
all the lettering is the right way around, and I have a hard time with that too because I want to point at something to my left. This is my left, but I'm actually in real life pointing in a different direction because it's twisting the picture around to make it so that on the screen everything is the right way around. So all the lettering would be the right way around.
yeah,
Whereas if it were a mirror image, then me holding this up would actually be over here in a mirror image, but it's not. It's the right way
yeah,
around. So everything gets kind of flipped around, and it sometimes confuses me too because I don't know which way to point. Whoop, no, that way. You know?
yeah, yeah. I don't think I have my set. I got a picture of Jupiter here, but it's really small and
Yeah. Well, let's see it. Heck,
okay. See if I can pull.
when's the last time I saw Jupiter?
Yeah. Yeah, it's really tiny. I should have cropped in on it more. I'm just not sure where I put any of these pictures. Can you guys see that?
Mm.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, so you can kind of make out the bands on it,
Yeah.
but the red spot is not visible because it's most likely on the other side of the planet in that photo. But I have seen the red spot before through my telescope.
Yeah.
So that's it there. This unstacked. This is just a one shot
Yeah.
uh right out of the scope right into my camera. So that's why it looks that way. I should have cropped it a little bit more, but kind of gets a little bit pixelated. And I took this picture with my older camera, so the megapixel count and the resolution isn't that high.
Mm.
So is
And I
this
got a
is this yeah? This is maximum magnification in the telescope.
yeah, I forget what it turns out to be. I'm not sure if it's 1200 millimeter. It's
Yeah.
written right on the side of the scope. I just can't recall it right now. Got another one here of Jupiter and its moons.
Yeah. Okay.
This is just a, oh, where is it? This is just a snapshot as well. This is nothing spectacular, nothing crazy. There it is there, Jupiter, and then couple of its moons there, those little stars close to it. There's one, two, there's four of them visible there.
So how far away is this? Do you know roughly?
Distance, like in miles.
Yeah.
Um, I gotta be honest, I think the distance between Earth and Jupiter, it's the same number as the speed of light. I
Mm.
forget, is it 386,000 miles or 386 million miles? I forget the number. Yeah, not thousand, million.
Millions,
Yeah.
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 That's a long way.
Yeah. Okay. Just pulled it down. I had one of Saturn. It's bothering me. I can't find it. I can show you a nebula that I took. there. And that's
Mm.
the
That's
Orion
nice.
Nebula. So
Mm.
the color isn't really that great. Usually that cloud that's around that nebula, it's more of a red color. And then for whatever reason, it was turning out purple when I was processing it. So that's also just a single shot, and it's a long exposure shot. So that was several seconds long.
Mhm.
So, and then that's when you're looking at the constellation Orion, that nebula there is right below the belt.
Okay.
So, and I believe there's actually two separate nebula in there. There's the Horse Head, and then there's the Orion Nebula.
Mm. It's still
Hey,
amazing though.
it's
Yeah.
all new to me.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, someday I'll be able to get really good images of this stuff, but still learning it, of course.
Yeah, yeah. One step at a time, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
There.
I
You have
already
it here.
showed you guys the comment.
Yeah. The comet?
Yeah. Um,
Is this so-called alien one?
no. This one was just where are we here? This
I
one
haven't
was
heard.
from a
Yeah.
couple years ago. What's that, George? Sorry.
I haven't heard about
Oh,
the alien comet.
haven't you? Oh,
Yeah, it
That's
was some
cool.
funny shaped comet that came through. Not what's on the screen, but the alien one. It
Yeah,
was like an odd shape, and I forget what else they were saying about it. Like it's
but it
tr-
had a bright light at the front and quite a long tail on it as well. But I think it
yeah,
was shape more than anything. And they said we were going to get invaded, which never
yeah,
happened.
yeah,
And it's gone now. It's passed and
yeah.
on
And
its
they,
way
well,
somewhere else.
yeah,
even
they
if,
never
you know,
invaded.
yeah, even if it was true, at least our attention would be focused on something else for a change.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. This comment I got on the screen here, I took this in 2023. So just a single shot once again through the telescope again. That was less than 30 seconds, the exposure on that one. So that's it.
Well, that's still pretty cool to be doing those shots. And do you have any problems with light pollution?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It affects the image quality significantly. They have light pollution filters and nebula filters. I've tried using them, but it's all I just gotta practice using them, that's all. So, and the nebula filter is it's more geared towards black and white
Okay.
astrophotography.
Yeah,
So it'll bring out stuff. But the light pollution filter, it was designed to filter out the sodium street lights. That's those older amber street lights that we used to
yeah,
have. So with the newer LED lights that we have now, they're more, how can I say it? The light is pointing towards the ground more, and it's like a whitish color.
yeah,
So it's actually not as bad anymore as it was like 10 years ago. So, but yeah, but otherwise still battling it.
yeah, yeah. Those sodium vapor lights were a real headache for taking photographs in factories that were lit with them. You know, that orange light,
Yeah.
that was really hard to white balance.
Yeah. Didn't like them. The place I worked at, they gave us blue safety glasses to
Really?
counteract the color. Yeah.
Huh, I didn't know
But
that.
yeah. Yeah.
Well, boys and girls, our hour is up, so we're gonna call it a night. But hey, listen, I really appreciate you guys coming in. It really means something to me that you keep showing up and keep showing photographs. Next week, I hope to have a guest. If I don't have a guest, I've got some photographs that I want to show you from my past,
Hmm.
and you'll probably get a kick out of some of them anyway. But then I think I've already shown some of them to you. Yeah, probably. But anyway, I've got a little bit of a portfolio pulled together that I can show, and I'm going to have to straighten out some things because we keep seeing Andrew come up here. At least on my end, I keep clicking on something and Andrew comes up. But
Yeah.
I'll have to show some photos next week because
you're
I'm in Vegas Monday night, and then I'm driving from Vegas to Phoenix.
oh, cool. So are
Nice.
you going
I'll
to take
be
any road shots like while you're driving?
well, so we're staying overnight in like the middle of the desert
Yeah.
at this place. So I'm
Ooh.
hoping to do some astrophotography in the middle of the desert.
Yeah. They got
Yeah,
the
that'd be
darkest
nice.
skies there in
Yeah.
Arizona.
So we'll see what I can do.
Yeah. Well,
It's good.
we're
Nice.
gonna. And when is this happening?
Um, I leave on Monday for the start of the trip. So I won't have any of the Arizona photos until the 18th.
Okay. Well, we're looking forward to it. So pull some
So
together and let us see what you shot. Be nice to see some
yeah.
night shots of Vegas.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a bunch in Vegas that night too.
Yeah. Yeah. And
So
don't forget to photograph Batman down on the street.
yeah, I'm gonna go to Fremont and see what I can get there too.
Yeah. I won't be here next week. I'm on
No?
shift.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, so I won't be back for 2 weeks.
All right. Well, we'll look forward to seeing you back in 2 weeks, and um, maybe that's when Andrew will show us photographs.
Yeah, I'll show them all in 2 weeks.
Hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Sounds like a plan. Anyway, guys, again, thank you very much for coming in. Anybody who's in YouTube, I appreciate you showing up, and you're always welcome. This chat happens every Wednesday night at 7 o'clock. Sometimes it's really exciting. We have guests. Other times it's more exciting because we don't have guests. So, like tonight, I learned a lot about astrophotography. That's
Yeah.
fantastic. Thanks, Steve. I appreciate
Yeah,
that.
thanks.
I had a friend of mine who was really into it seriously to the point where he actually moved to some of the hills in New Mexico, and he had a separate room that had a dome on it that he could open up and rotate. So he had a hell of a telescope too, I guess. Anyway,
Yeah,
he he
I'd love
he,
to have those.
he was retired from the Air Force, and he belonged to a group, get this, of geriatrics, elderly people, and that group was called the Star Geezers. I think that was a good name, Stargazers.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. Anyway, good night, everybody. Thanks for coming
Yeah.
in, and we'll see you
Nice.
next week. Those of you who can make it.
Yeah. Take
Okay.
care.
Happy travels, Andrew.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Take care.
enjoy. Okay, see you guys.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.